Back in 1806, Prussia decided it had had enough of Napoleon. After his huge win at Austerlitz in 1805, Napoleon basically reshaped Germany by creating the Confederation of the Rhine. That put French influence right on Prussia's doorstep, and Frederick William III of Prussia, who was usually cautious, was pushed into declaring war. The problem? The Prussian army was still living in the glory days of Frederick the Great. They marched slowly, stuck to rigid formations, and relied too much on reputation. Napoleon's army, on the other hand, was modern, mobile, and organized into corps, independent units that could march separately and fight together. When the fighting started in October 1806, Napoleon moved so fast that the Prussians didn't even know where his main force was. On October 14th, two battles happened on the same day. At Jena, Napoleon himself faced one Prussian army under Prince Hohenlohe. He had about 96,000 men against their 53,000, and he smashed them with aggressive attacks. The Prussians tried to stand their ground, but were outmaneuvered and crushed. At Auerstädt, Marshal Davout ran into the main Prussian army led by the Duke of Brunswick. Davout only had 27,000 men compared to about 60,000 Prussians. You'd think he'd be doomed, but he held firm, fought brilliantly, and actually won. The Duke was mortally wounded, and the Prussian command completely collapsed. The result? The entire Prussian army basically fell apart in a matter of weeks. Cities surrendered without resistance. Napoleon marched into Berlin on October 27th like he owned the place, because, for all practical purposes, he did. The aftermath was brutal for Prussia. In the Treaty of Tilsit, 1807, they lost half their territory, were reduced to a second-rate kingdom, and had to live under Napoleon's thumb. But this humiliation did force Prussia to rethink everything. Over the next few years, reformers like Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, and Clausewitz rebuilt the army into a modern fighting machine, one that would come back strong later in the Napoleonic Wars. So, in short, Napoleon didn't just beat Prussia in 1806, he shattered it, and in record time.